then if for any reason someone gets knocked off, then you will, we can send you the whole session as well. All right, so we're gonna get started on your mat, and go ahead and take a child's pose. So that's gonna be toes of the feet to touch and the knees nice and far apart. And then you're gonna extend your hands out in front of you, walking your forehead down to the mat. And from there, if it bothers the shoulders, you can always place the hands underneath the forehead or even back behind you by your feet. Whatever suits you best, and you'll just take an inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Start to tiptoe your fingertips to the right corner of your mat. And then you're gonna lean into your left hip, creating a stretch along the right arm through the right shoulder. Or sorry, your left. Hands to the right, leaning into your left hip, stretching along the left side of your body. Deep breath in. And exhale. Good, you'll tiptoe the hands back to center and then over to the left corner of your mat, leaning into your right hip, stretching that right side of your body. Again, deep breath in. And exhale. Good, and then tiptoe the hands back to center. Inhale, you're gonna stack up to all fours, your tabletop position. From here, knees are gonna be stacked right under your hips, hands right under your shoulders. And you're just gonna drop the belly, shine the heart forward. Inhale, and your cat, exhale. Good. And for anybody that does want a little background music, you're welcome to turn that on for yourself. I would turn it on, but I don't think you'll be able to hear it. So totally up to you what kind of atmosphere you want to create. Go ahead and continue to inhale and exhale as you pull the belly up towards the ceiling. And inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward and hold it there. You're gonna wag your tail side to side, like you're pinching one side of your body, lengthening the other, and then switch to the other side. Like you're gonna turn around to look at your tail and switch. And switch. Good. And the neutral spine, so you've got a flat back here, same thing. You're gonna wag your tail from right to left, looking back at your hip. And over to the other side. Good, just waking up the spine. And then lastly, you're going to press belly up to the ceiling, find your cat pose, same thing, just a little wiggle side to side from the pelvis and the shoulders. Good, and from there, you're gonna find center, and then spine is going to lengthen. From here, give a little energy pressing down into the mat from your hands, your knees, your shins, and the tops of your feet. So the more you press down, you're gonna notice that the tummy starts to turn on, starts to pull up and away from the floor. So you've got a core that's engaged, you're pressing down into the ground, continue to breathe, and then micro bend those elbows, imagine like a little bulldog arm. You're gonna tuck the right toes behind you, extend that leg out, and then hover the leg 1 inch off the floor. From there, you're gonna extend and reach the left arm out, hold it there, take an inhale. And exhale, continue to press into the ground, feel your core connect. Inhale one more. And exhale, lower the hand and the leg down. Good. Inhale, you're gonna tuck the left toes, send the leg behind you. Pressure down into the mat once again. Then lifting the leg, hovering it off the mat, just 1 to 2 inches. And then extend the right arm out in front of you. Careful that there's a little bend in that elbow of your left hand, pressing down, lengthen. And exhale, lower it down. Hui. Okay, now we're gonna warm up our triceps a little bit before we go into some of our flow. You're gonna extend and walk those hands slightly out in front of you. So now I'm no longer hands right underneath my shoulders. They're a little bit further in front of me. My tush is gonna stay high in the sky. It's like I'm bowing down. My elbows are gonna bend towards my knees. I'm gonna drop my head down towards the mat like I'm gonna kiss the floor, and straighten the elbows. And bend. So this should be a tricep press. If the elbows go wide, then you're not going to feel it in the back of your arms. So make sure those elbows go narrow, pointing back towards your knees. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. We're going to do a couple more. Again, if your pelvis is shifting back or forward, it's going to change the tension in your triceps. You want to keep the pelvis stacked right over the knees. Just a simple hinge down and hold it. Little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten it up. Whee, good. Oh, right. You're gonna take toes to touch, knees nice and far apart, sitting back. And again, now you're gonna stretch out back into your child's pose. And you might feel a little stretch behind those triceps. Good. Take another deep breath. And exhale. And on your next inhale, you're gonna stack back up to tabletop. We're gonna take puppy dog pose. So I'm gonna bring my knees a little bit further underneath me. If this is not a good pose for your back or for your shoulders, go ahead and take child's pose once again. Otherwise, if you think it's gonna be okay, you're gonna walk the hands forward. My nose is gonna come towards the mat with my arms out extended. My hips are stacked over my knees. So now I'm increasing that stretch behind my arms and my triceps. And there's a little length and arch in my upper back. Take an inhale here. At in time, you can exit. You don't have to stay in the pose if it's not comfortable for you. On your next inhale, start to come back up, taking the nose up and hands underneath you. Tuck the toes and downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back, pedal out the feet. Good. One knee bends. You can shift your weight from side to side. Good. Lower both heels. Now think of pushing into the hands. So I'm sending a little energy into those hands, and I'm going to send my sit bones, if we kind of know where that is, or like our tail up to the ceiling. You're going to inhale, lift both heels up high. Exhale, lower those heels down. Inhale, lift both heels high. Exhale, lower those heels down. Now inhale, lift those heels high, bend the knees, and tiptoe the feet in towards the wrists. Hands can come in towards the feet. And you're gonna take generous bend in the knees and ragdoll pose. You're gonna grab onto the opposite elbow with your hands. You're gonna interlace those hands above your head like you're crossing your arms in front of you. And then just sway it side to side. You can shake the head yes, shake it no, yes again. Whatever feels good, just relaxing the back of the neck, the shoulders. Good, let the hands come down to the floor. Little bend in the knees, you can increase that bend. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Big bend in the knees and nice and slow so we don't get dizzy. Good, once you're to the top, you're gonna roll the shoulders up and back. Clasp the hands behind you. You're gonna punch your fist down to the floor and just opening up your chest. You can look on a diagonal up towards maybe where the ceiling and the wall meet. Big inhale and exhale. Good, you're gonna take your hands down by your sides. Now you're gonna inhale, mountain pose, gather the space above your head. Inhale wide through baby back bend, nice and wide elbows, a little bit of an arch in my spine. Inhale, gather, take that again. Exhale, baby back bend, wide through the chest. Inhale, gather the space. And exhale, you're gonna dive forward, placing your hands down towards the mat, generous bend in those knees. Inhale, you're gonna take halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. It's flat table for a spine, belly pulls in. Exhale, lower it down. We're gonna take that one more time. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins or the thighs, flat back. Exhale, stamp the hands down, step the feet back behind you. Now you're in your plank position. From here, you can either lower down in this plank position or you can lower your knees down to the floor. We're gonna take a tricep press down. So I'm pulling my elbows in by my sides. I'm controlling my way down. Nose is the first thing to touch, then tummy comes to the mat. Straighten the legs out. Inhale, baby cobra. Little extension. Exhale, forward fold, over, flattening, relax. Inhale once again, baby cobra. And exhale. Last one, inhale, baby cobra. And exhale. Good, now this is your choice here. It's a little harder to get up than it is to get down, as we all, I'm sure, already know. You could tuck your toes under and press into your plank, or as I like to bend from my knees to press back up. Oh, it's a struggle. And then tuck the toes underneath you back to your downward facing dog. Good, again, if this pose isn't a happy place for you for any reason, you can go ahead and find your forward fold. So you're pulling your feet in towards your wrists, pedal out the feet, take a big breath, and exhale. Whew. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, little steps towards your hands, hands step towards your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, flat table for a spine, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center, right in front of your chest. Lower, inhale. And exhale, baby back bend wide through the chest. Inhale, gather the space above your head. Exhale, wide arms. Inhale, we're gonna do that exact same flow one more time. Exhale, dive it down. Hands come to the floor, generous bend in the knees. Whew, if you're getting exhausted, inhale, halfway lift. You can always skip this push-up. Exhale, press it back into a plank. You're welcome to hold here or even find child's pose at any time. Lower the knees or lower down to your mat from your plank position. And inhale from your belly. Little baby cobra, hands are right under your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lower it down. And then you're gonna press back up, maybe through your tabletop, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Whew, blood pumping now. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift both heels. And exhale, little tiptoes forward, hands come back towards the feet. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose once again. And exhale, hands through heart center. Whew, a little warmed up. Now make sure to step towards the front edge of your mat. Hopefully we can all still see me if I move up here. You're gonna take an inhale, find your mountain pose, and hold it there. Now I want you to feel a little bit of energy between your hands. You're gonna think like beams of light extend out through the top of your head, your fingertips, and your toes and your heels. Now from here, lengthening long spine, you're gonna shift your weight onto your left leg. Right leg comes to a single leg mountain pose. So I'm just lifting the leg. It can be a little kickstand if you need some help with balance, or you can even find a wall to hold on to. Little hold, continue breathing. Good. Now here's the fun part. It's going to start to make its way back. And then you're going to place the leg behind you and then spiral open to your warrior two. Now from warrior two, you're going to extend those arms out to a T. My hips and my shoulders are facing directly to your side. So I'm facing directly towards you. If you're looking at me from side view, your hips and shoulders are directly square forward. Two arms out to a T. Back leg is turned parallel, toes to face forward where your hips and shoulders are. Front knee is pointed forward like to match your front arm. You're going to keep that energy pulling out through the fingertips, out through the feet like you're pulling your mat apart. And then head and eyes are going to look forward. Take an inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Good. And inhale, you're going to take a star pose. So big X. Whoo, if I fall over, that's no good. And you're going to just wave side to side, a little opening up for the pelvis and the back. And then big X. And then goddess pose or horse pose. You're going to bring hands to heart center, big bend. Here we go. Booty burner right here. Extend and big star. And exhale and horse or goddess pose. Goddess is more attractive of a name. So we're going to hold here. You're going to take just the breath. Isn't this fun? And exhale. Inhale, big star, parallel both feet. Puff up the chest to the ceiling. And wide leg forward fold, hands come to the floor. This is where you can invite in some props. So if you've got blankets, pillows, you can build a little tower of things, stack them up, and then you have, if you're having trouble connecting hands to the floor, you can do that. Place a little tower. You can also face your couch. If you're in a room with a bed or a couch, you can face and place your hands on that instead. If we're have the hamstring flexibility, you could also try to stack some stuff up to find your forehead to connect. So your forehead might come to the couch or to your pillows and little tower of things. And then that gives you a little bit of a reprieve. You're not fighting against gravity quite so much. Just take an inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Let your leaning tower just kind of chill right where it is. You're going to drop your hands down towards the floor. Generous bend in the knees if you need it. Tee out the arms. Flat back coming all the way up. Whew. We're going to make our way back to our warrior two. So your same front leg is going to rotate back forward and then bend the knee. And this is where we've come from before. So same position, tee out the arms, shoulders and hips are square to the same direction. Back foot is pointing in that same direction. Then front arm, front leg point forward. Take an inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. We're going to reverse warrior. Hand comes up to the ceiling. And this is not a back bend rather than a side bend. So we're going to sideways over. Hand can be right on your back leg. Sometimes people like to place it on their side for a little extra support. You can also bind it behind your back, which means you slip your hand in and it's kind of right. You can see it on the other end of my hip, opposite hip, just kind of hanging out. Come back to center. And then big scoop back up to the front edge of your mat. So there you are. Shake it out for a second. I'm going to turn and face this way so that my butt's not towards you guys, but you don't have to do that as well. You can still see me. All right, here we go. Side number two, inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center, just centering yourself one more time. And inhale. And here we go. Other leg, left leg comes up. You're standing on your right leg. Here's your balance. Now find one point of focus for your eyes. This might be our good side, or maybe not. Maybe we don't have a good side. You're gonna slowly start to make your way back. Place the toes down towards the mat, and then unwind into your warrior two. Back leg is parallel facing, same direction as your hips and your shoulders. Arms to a T, and then front toes are going to point in the same direction as your front hand. So this is my right side forward. Reaching, and knee is gonna track right over the ankle. Take an inhale. And exhale, eyes looking forward towards your right hand. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, you're going to straighten that front leg, and then big X position, little star. You can wiggle again if that feels right. And here we go, goddess pose. Hooey. And up. And exhale. No one likes this one. Inhale. Big star, parallel both feet. Puff up the chest. Now we've got options. You can wide leg forward, fold hands out to a T. You can also bind your hands behind your back. So you get a fist, you punch it down towards the floor. Then wide leg forward, fold. Good. You may hate that, no pressure to do it. Take your hands down at any time. You've got your leaning tower once again if you want to scoot it towards this edge of your mat. Got somewhere for your hands, or maybe somewhere for your forehead to attach to. You can leave that bind as long as you want. You can also take your hands down at any time, so totally up to you. Other options are to stay here. Forth into other, and that kind of changes my inner thigh stretch. It increases my inner thigh stretch opposed to just that hamstring. Good. Release your bind, taking your hands down if you haven't already. Arms are going to go out to a T, flat back up. Whew. And then back to your warrior two, turning the front leg back out in front of you. Same warrior two that we did just a moment ago. And big breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, reverse warrior, you're going to take a side bend over. Arm comes up to the ceiling and little lean back. Good. You want to make sure that you don't start to straighten that front leg, keeping the knee stacked right over the ankle. Hand can be on the knee, on the thigh, or even wrapped and bind behind your back, just kind of hanging out behind you. Good, and make your way back. And here we go, just a little back to center and shake it out. Good, before we come to laying down, we're gonna take a balance, so tree pose. If you need a wall, go ahead and stand somewhere where you have one. Or if you've got a cane or something at home, I don't know what you've got with you, but you can take your leg and either a little, I hope you can see my feet, I think you can, little kickstand. So my ball of my foot is like a Barbie foot. I'm gonna place it down on the mat, and then my heel is against my other ankle, and I'm good right there. You can take hands to heart center. So this is one layer. Next layer, a little bit harder. You're gonna take the bottom of the foot, place it against the calf. The other layer is you're gonna take the foot and place the sole of the foot against the thigh. Of course, the higher it goes, the harder it's gonna be. You're gonna press the sole of the foot into your thigh into the sole of your foot, pressing those hands, and then find one point of focus on the wall in front of you and concentrate on that spot. If you're feeling hot, you can grow your branches in any direction you like. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, or don't. Good. And lower it down. Good. Other side. So you've got kickstand. This might be your good or bad side. So you can take same thing, or maybe try that balance. Take the foot to the calf or the inner thigh. Right. Not a right answer. It's just whatever is appropriate for you today. It could be different tomorrow. Good. Same thing. If you're feeling hot on this side, maybe grow your branches in a different direction. Again, they don't have to be symmetrical. They can be however you please. This is your time to shine. And inhale. And exhale, lower it down. Whew. I know nobody would believe me, but I think the heater's on. I'm just gonna laugh at my own joke because we all know Casey believes in heaters. Okay, inhale, you're gonna take mountain pose. And exhale, dive it down, hands to the floor, generous bend in those knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it into your plank position. Good, now once again, we're gonna lower it down. You're gonna place your knees down or lower all the way from your plank position and find your way to the floor. Whee. All right, from here, I'm gonna take my baby cobra once again, so my hands are underneath my shoulders, a little extension up. And what we wanna be mindful of is that we don't wanna dump into the low back. If this hurts the low back at all, then we might not be supporting ourselves as much as we could. So go ahead and lower the head down. Think of pulling the belly button a little bit into the spine, nothing crazy, but a little bit of support for that belly. And exhale, lower it down. You are welcome to do that baby cobra once again, or you can bend the knees, grab onto the feet, and we're gonna take a different pose. So it's up to you if you wanna take this bow pose, or you can stick with your baby cobra as a little gentler. You're gonna press your feet back, pulling your upper body up. So I'm not gonna pull my thighs off the ground. I'm gonna keep my thighs connected and pulling my upper body back instead of my lower body forward. Inhale. And exhale. God, it's really hard to talk in that pose. I think I lost a life on that one. You're gonna take the hands back under your shoulders, press back up, find a child's pose, toes to touch, knees far apart. And lower it down. Whoo, take a big breath in. And exhale. And a big breath in. And exhale. Good. On an inhale, stacking back up to your tabletop position. Whew. Okay. You're going to come up to kneeling here. And if you like, so like I've got these yoga blocks, but you could use, I don't know, find things around, collect little items that might help you, give you a little boost. You can also have your hands on the floor, which is also fine. You're gonna take your right knee up to like a proposal position. Now, if you have blocks, you have books, or you have junk in your house that you don't know what to do with, here is its time to shine. You're gonna lean forward and knee is stacked right over the ankle. What we don't wanna do is lean so far forward that the knee starts to align with the toes. What you'd wanna do there is actually walk the foot a little bit further forward if you have more hip flexibility and can lean forward more. So you've got something here. You can also place your hand on your thigh, just a little harder balance-wise and a little bit more work. So if you're feeling lazy, you might want to hold on to something. You can also take hands to the floor, totally up to you. Just take a breath in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. You're going to lean it back So my hips are stacked right over my knee. If you've got something to hold on to, maybe walk your hands back, or if you've got stuff around you, adjust so that you start to lean your shoulders back. Now, if you point your foot, it's going to be a little kinder to the back of your leg. If you flex it, it's going to be a more intense stretch through the calf or the hamstring or whatever's tighter. You're welcome to remain up tall, or you could try to walk your hands a little bit down. Whew, this can be a really fun one. So just breathing in and exhale. Good. If you've got props, you'll walk them back forward or use your hands to slide back forward. Now, super fun. You're going to take both hands to the inner edge of your foot, tiptoe the foot to the outer edge of your mat, and then let your knee externally rotate slightly. And you're going to come into this runner's lunge. Now, this is a great time for pillows, blankets, a whole spiel. You can bring your elbows down. If that's not happy, don't do it. Just keep up onto your hands. You do have the ability to lean a little bit more forward. If you've got a little tower, that's cool. Elbows can go to that tower, even forehead can go to that tower. Deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. You're going to take your hands to the floor, move the tower away. If you've got one, tiptoe the foot back in underneath you. Whew. All right. For anybody that hadn't gotten enough stretch in the quad, you can tuck the toe. Again, this is optional. Everything is optional, technically. You're going to tuck the toes, straighten the back leg. Right. If I send weight into my heel, I feel a little bit bigger stretch in my calf. If you feel nothing in your hip and you want to feel more in the front of your leg through your quad and your hip flexors, you are welcome to take this balance, placing the hands on the thigh. This can be a tough one. I like to push down with my hands pretty intensely so that my belly starts to pull in and it helps me hold myself up. Again, a little bit of booty, a little bit of belly, we're ready to go. Good. That might increase that stretch. The other option here, if you don't want to be here, don't. Whatever layer works for you. The other option is the same leg that's behind you. That arm is going to come up to increase that stretch. Whew. Good. And then lower it down. Good. Hands to the floor, hands to your tower, your couch, whatever you need. And you're going to fold your way back and take the leg in, however you find most graceful. Nobody can see you, so it doesn't matter. All right, next leg. Here we go, proposal position, and start to lean forward, whether it's hands to the floor, up on top of something, just tiptoe the toes forward so that however much hip mobility you have to come forward, the knee stays over the ankle, not beyond that ankle. From here, you can just take a breath and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good, and you're gonna start to straighten that front leg, walk the hands back, or if you've got a table or something near you, you can sit up tall. You've got props or whatever, hands to the floor, whatever works. And just being kind and respectful to your poor body. If this is the tighter side, looser side, you can point the foot for a little less, flex the foot for a little more. Deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. If you want props or not, up to you. You'll bring yourself forward. Now this one, you're gonna tiptoe the foot to the outer edge of your mat front leg, and there's an external rotation. So I'm kind of starting to roll onto the outside of my foot in the front. And then if I want blankets, pillows, whatnot, my hands or my elbows can come to that as I sink my hips a little bit further forward. Oh. Deep breath in. Inhale. And exhale. Good, you're gonna take yourself back up, tiptoe the foot back to center. And for the grand finale, tuck toe behind you. Again, you're welcome to stay here. If you're over it, then go into child's pose. Not gonna hurt my feelings because I can't see you. So you're gonna tuck the toes, reach that heel back to get a little stretch through the calf. Now, whatever layer suits you best, you could option to take your hands to your thigh and lengthen tall through your spine. If you want to increase, if this for any reason isn't enough, same leg that's back, that arm is going to reach to the ceiling, increasing that stretch. Good, and then take the hands down. Whew, and as gracefully as you find the way to, you're going to tuck both legs back underneath you and tiptoe your knees forward. You're going to sit down on your mat. Fantastic. Okay, so blankets, pillows, etc., whatever you need, make sure it's nearby. You're going to lay down on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Rock it side to side. This is the fun part. All right. You're going to lower the feet down towards the floor. And you want your heels to come in as tight to your sit bones as you can get them, assuming your knees are comfortable. And you're going to take your fingertips to your heels. Maybe you can tickle your tickle your heels. I have monkey arms, so I can grab onto my heels. You might not. Don't feel bad. You're going to inhale, bridge pose, lifting your hips up to the ceiling. Big puff up the chest, very different than glute bridging. We're just finding extension and length through the front of our hips, through the front of our chest and our rib cage. And we're going to either hold it here to exhale or lower it down. So you're welcome to hold or lower. And we're going to go 2 more times like that. You're going to either hold it or lift into your bridge. Good. If you'd like, you could bind the arms behind your back, clasping the hands and then tucking your shoulders underneath you. Whatever you already know and love, do that. If you're confused, don't worry about it. If this isn't comfortable, go ahead and lower. Good. And then lift back up one last time. Maybe go a little less high if it's uncomfortable for the low back. Pressing down through the feet, down through the palms of the hands. Unbind your arms and lower it down all together. All right, you're going to take the soles of the feet to touch. Knees are going to go wide, Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a great moment that if you've got pillows, blankets, something, you can stuff these right underneath your upper thigh, your booty, and then it gives you a little bit of something to relax into so you don't feel like that strain from gravity pushing against you and that air underneath your thigh. Give yourself a little something to lean on. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And exhale. And take your hands to your outsides of your thighs. Close your knees up like a book. I like to leave a blanket or a pillow or something on both sides of my body so that I have it there as an option. If you'd like something behind your head, go ahead. You could use a sweatshirt or a pillow. And then you're going to take the right knee tight into your right armpit, and the left leg is going to extend out long. So tight into your armpit, and then you're going to take supine twist. The knee is going to cross over to the opposite side of my body, and then maybe tee out the arms if that feels good. If it doesn't, you could also reach the arm up to the ceiling and take a little bit of that spinal rotation out of it. These blankets are great, pillows, whatnot, because it can go underneath your knee if you don't want the knee to touch the floor. So hand can be up, taking the rotation out of the spine, or deep rotation and tee the arm out to the side. Deep breath in. And exhale. And exhale. Go ahead and unwind. Good, and we'll switch legs. Left knee tight into the left armpit. Right leg extends out long, big squeeze. And then again, supine twist to the other side. The left leg is going to cross the body, finding that blanket, pillow, or the floor. And again, you could tee out the arms for that twist, or lift the arm up to the or up behind you, and then keep your shoulders square with your hips. So you take that spinal rotation out, whatever suits you best. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, unravel. Good, okay. You're gonna take to your back, and whatever you've got with or nearby, you're welcome to use it. I've even used just like a blanket before, so it's up to you if you wanted to use something to wrap it around your foot. You're gonna reach the right leg to the ceiling, so you've got that. You've also got, of course, just your hands. You can place your hands behind your thigh, clasp your hands together. If your leg can straighten below 90 degrees, so below my hip height, straight up to the ceiling, then it might feel better to have something to hold on to. So in that case, 90 degrees or above can be pretty comfortable because gravity's coming down on the top of your foot. Otherwise, it might be more comfortable to grab onto a blanket, something. And if there's a little bend in the knee, that's also okay. The bottom leg, your left leg, can extend long or stay bent. Long will be a deeper stretch. Good, now you either grab onto your blanket or to your leg. You're gonna take the leg over to the right side. So you're gonna let the hip, I like to place one hand on my left hip, and then one is either holding onto my leg or onto your blanket, and take that leg over to the side. This could be, I have a table in my way, but this could be a great moment to put some pillows, a little tower to place your thigh on. That way you're not struggling against gravity. You've got something to rest on top of. Deep breath in. And exhale. And take the leg up to the ceiling, and you're gonna switch sides. So if you got a blanket or something, I like to bend the knees and just switch my legs. Or if you're just grabbing on, the other leg can either stay bent or reach that leg out in front of you, hand behind your thigh or behind your leg, right? So this is the left leg. That could mean a lot of things. If you might need something more on this side to hold on to, though it could be your more flexible side if you're a little bit stronger on the right naturally. This could be your looser side. So it just depends body to body. Take a deep breath in. Good. Then you're going to take the leg over to the left side. So if I hold on to my blanket with my left hand, right hand's going to come onto my right hip. I'm going to start to rock that leg out to the side. Now, you see I can place this block underneath. So that's the same thing if you had a pillow or a blanket. And I'll take a deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Leg's going to come back up to the ceiling. Remove your blanket. Good. You're going to hug both knees into your chest and then grab happy baby pose. You can either grab onto the insides or the outsides of the feet. Maybe behind the knees is better. What we want to watch for is that our tail doesn't go high up in the sky. So you want to feel the back of your pelvis on the mat. So that might mean that, like happy baby, playing with your feet. You can place your hands behind your thighs, rock side to side. If you feel okay with your hip mobility, you can place hands to the outside or the insides of the feet. You can also take 2 fingers and wrap it around your big toe, just rocking side to side. Good. You're also welcome to take any other poses if you know of something that we didn't get to. You'd like to incorporate that into your practice, go right ahead. You can take a little butterfly, pulling your heels in towards your belly button. You could extend both legs out to a big straddle, rock side to side like that. Whatever feels good to you, just deep breath in and out. You'll hug both knees into your chest. Good. Now this might be a wonderful moment to turn the lights off. Depending on your lighting, I've got these beautiful lights above my head, but you can squeeze your knees into your chest, tuck your nose in towards your knees, tight yogi ball, and then extend the legs out for your final Shavasana. If you turn the lights off, you can get comfortable, use a blanket or a pillow for behind your head, maybe something behind your knees. And we're just gonna take a few minutes. I will wake you when it's time. Know that Shavasana is here for you. If you'd like to stay, you are welcome. Otherwise, you can put some small movements back into your fingers and toes, awakening your breath, rolling your wrists and your ankles. Maybe take a big pencil stretch or hug your knees into your chest. And in your own time, roll onto your favorite side. With little to no effort, find your way to seated, just finding a comfortable seat. We'll meet with eyes closed, hands at heart center. We'll take 3 unified breaths together. Deep inhale through your nose. And exhale, let it out. Inhale. And exhale. And last inhale. And exhale. Good. Take your thumbs to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. The light, the love in me honors and appreciates the light, the love in every one of you. Bow to seal your practice. Namaste. Good. All right, I'm going to unmute everybody. And let's see if I can figure this out. Mute all, unmute all. There we go.
Oh, great class. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Really relaxed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna.
My pleasure. My pleasure. If anything goes wrong, you can always let us know. We can send you the video. I'm also trying to get Casey to put a mat Pilates class on the schedule. So if you're interested, send him something.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Are you going to post this video on Instagram or YouTube or anything?
He may, yeah. He's gonna take a lot of these recorded videos, and speaking of, I should stop the recording. And stop.